Okay, it's Guy Eagle again. We're at part 7 of our crossing over grouping. And if you missed the part 6, we were in the transition space or era of time, which we call a fire, an era of the fire, of the transition from one form into another. Part 7, we're kind of dealing with the end of that transition time and what goes on during the negotiation at the end of that era before we start to drop down into physical form, into a new body. There was a company called the Aletha Foundation years ago by a man named Jack Schwartz. It was over in Ashland, Oregon. And he was putting some Western science measures to this process. And what the measure they used was decibels per second. And they found that a physical body is, with the spirit inside of it, once it started resonating at 9,000 decibels per second, it started leaving its body. The spirit was leaving the physical body. And then once it reached about 12,000 decibels per second, the spirit was beyond the measure of duality, is what they were using at that time. And that was 25 years ago. I'm sure they've done a lot of things since then. But then the opposite is true too. A spirit, as it's going down 12,000, it'll start changing into physical form. Down to, the transition at 9,000, it'll become physical form. So we're kind of using that as a guideline. We're kind of in that 11,000 decibels per second, somewhere in there. And we're kind of at the end of it. And what happens? The negotiations have been going on with the natural world, which we will call first circle. And they have negotiated basically, at this point, the negotiations have been about what they've learned and what they didn't learn, what they're going to take with them into the next physical form, and what they're going to let go of and return to the earth. But now a new form has to be decided upon. What type of form? So there's a typing, kind of a typecast that has to be negotiated. Are they going to be a four-legged? Are they going to be a swimmer? Are they going to be a winged one? Are they going to be a standing nation or plant world? Are they going to be in the rock world? Are they going to be mobile? Are they going to be stationary? Are they going to be upright? A lot of these things have to go on. They have to negotiate the location that they want to be born into, what the environment is, what the environment is as far as their humidity, the dryness. Humidity and dryness kind of go together. But basically, there's the influences of the environment that will signal and stimulate the historical records to wake up, that they need to continue the learning and the lessons that they carried on with, or they carried forward. So basically, even though they're going to change form, they have to go into an environment that can wake up what they have to continue to learn. So environment becomes very important. The parents that they're going to be born into to carry on their DNA, or to carry their DNA, is going to be important. That has to be negotiated. What race of people will be important that will influence what they can use to finish the lesson. So you got location, you have race, you have the type of physical body, and So you have all these little factors that have to be negotiated and agreed upon. And when it's agreed upon, boom, pregnancy can happen. That's part 7. The next part we go into is the actual process of being born or being pregnant, if you will, the gestation period. So, hope you can stay with us. Thank you.